Greetings. Tonight we have our special guest, Miss Erica Durr, the founder of Chrysalis Complete Coaching Life in Charlotte, North Carolina. And we will be discussing tonight's topic: how do we do not offer or sell drugs to one another. She's originally from Indiana, and the city now of Charlotte, North Carolina. We welcome you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Cassandra. Thank you for that warm welcome. I'm Erica Durr, as she stated. Originally from Indiana. Been in Charlotte for about 3 years. Um, I'm a life coach. I've been life coaching for a long time. So this topic is near and dear to my heart. Um, and we'll get more into it once we start.
Yes. So myself, I always because you got to tell people where you come from so they can understand where you going. So I am a product of the Rockefeller laws and drug crack era. It was very prevalent in the 1970s and 80 mid 80 era, and being saying that with these certain Rockefeller laws, there were harsher penalties toward our black and colored people than whites. Even though we know crack cocaine, opiums, those are a different type of substance abuses, and they do not have color. But we're talking about how these certain Rockefeller laws and other disappropriations that affected our community. And when we talk about this, we talk about how it was a widespread. It dismantled our communities, it separated homes. You had parents neglecting their children. You also had second generation grandparents having to take the bulk of their children offspring because they had went far away from what they should have done, but they submitted themselves with these different substances that were going on during the crack era. And so I want you to kind of tell us, growing up in Indiana, what were some things that you seen? I'm not sure of your age bracket, but what were some things that you seen with drugs being affected in our communities?
Yeah, so I'm an 80s baby, so I was in the 80s era. And I lived in the middle of the hood. So it was drug dealing, gang banging all around me. I had a, a very, very supportive parents and grandparents. So it kind of didn't really affect me. However, it did
Uh-huh.
affect some family members. So one of my cousins, I want to say about 5 years ago, overdosed. Um,
Wow.
so yes, it's really near and dear to my heart because you know the people that would sell the drugs to him were people that we knew. Like, if you live in the hood, everybody knows everybody. So
Right.
at some point we have to say that money can't buy. I mean, money can't make us happy. Money is not going to get us where we need to go. We need to take care of our people. That's what needs to happen first. That's what needs to happen
Exactly.
first. And also we need as a community to not keep it a secret. So if there's a family member going through something or going through addictions, it doesn't help to keep it a secret. I'm not the type to go behind a family member and talk behind their back or anybody else. I want to get you help. I want to help you the best way I can. And that's not a task for me. That's just what we have to do as a community.
And
So
I
yeah.
I totally agree with you, Erica, and thank you for sharing that testimony about your family members because, like I said, both I was affected by both, and I grew up in a government housing, not necessarily saying that my grandparents were poor because my grandmother and grandfather both had city jobs. It was just that the way things have always been and how
Have
things
always
are
been.
still, that we
Yeah.
were always tucked the short end of the stick. So we were at where we were at, but we were making moves to also progress. But in that state of being, I seen things like syringes. I would go
Mm.
just maybe not take the we lived in a sixth floor high up apartment, so I would take the back way or I would take the staircase downstairs. And as a child, early as 7, 8, I can remember seeing syringes. You
Mm.
might interrupt the crackhead from getting high, and I just like couldn't fathom like how could that be possible in America? How could that be a crack pandemic, a crack era? Where did the crack come from? Where did the coke come from?
Good. Didn't come from us because we ain't have nothing. It didn't come from us.
No, it didn't come from us. It was said that it was smuggled in from cartels, CIA, different governmental agencies. Like you said, we descendants of slaves. You're Afro American like I am. When we check on the application of ethnicity, we
Hmm.
check African American, in which that means that we are Afro Americans of descendant slaves. And so what we have is a spread of 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 disproportioning and dismantling a race. Like they said, May 8th, 1973, Nelson Rockefeller, he was the governor of NYC. That's why they named it Rockefeller Law. And they said, due to the implementation of the Rockefeller drug laws, incarceration rates were said to have risen from 1973 to current. 150,000 New York citizens were being jailed for nonviolent crimes. Nonviolent crimes, and they said the penalties were such things as if you had an ounce of heroin, you could get anywhere from 15 years to a maximum of life.
An
To a
ounce.
maximum of life.
An ounce.
Making a drug laws harsher for those brown and black people that live in impoverished communities. They
Absolutely.
said they would give the Caucasian people therapy instead of uh adhering to harsh penalties that we had to. They would subject them or recommend mental health, which they don't do that no more because a lot of the government funding has been taken away from these certain programs that were in place to help the incarcerated to be able to reestablish themselves into society. So like we say, see today, like you said, Erica, we having a generation after generation being affected, and we can't sell our souls to $1. I like how you said that we cannot sell our souls to $1.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I said, we didn't have no money to get no, no crack or no, we didn't come up with that. It was put in our communities. And for an ounce you can get 15 to life. We like the street drug dealers have the ounces. Not the suppliers. So I mean, you know what I mean? But
Yeah, that's
I
why
was
it
saying
confused
it's
me. Like, yeah, like other people were saying, if they had this was supposed to be like a campaign to stricken down on the crack era. It was supposed to uh capture the kingpins, but instead of capturing the kingpins, it distorted the poverty, the impoverished. If we're going after the kingpins, the people that's bringing it in, then it should have been some type of stop. but
It was
today we
it's
still see the not as much as before, but we still have some people that are still affected by these drug substances that were man-made
mm-hmm.
and put out here to destroy to destroy lives, to destroy families. We all had a family member. I had a family member where you would have to clutch your perch, or second guess trust factor, because they're not in a sense of mind frame to think and know right from wrong. And so not only you're destroying the victim's life, you're destroying the family's life.
Yep, yep. They it's crazy because that's what it's set up for. This is exactly, is going exactly the way they want it to go. Um, and you're right, it destroys families. And it's easy. I believe, I study people and emotions. So as much as Black people deal with, I'm not faulting the people who do get addicted, because we go through so much. And sometimes we just want to get away. We don't want to feel that. We done been hit back to back to back with stuff. You know, I mean, you see it in movies and you see it in real life. We try, we try, and we still get kicked down. So the selling of the drugs was one of the options, and the using of the drugs was the other option. And unfortunately, some of our people fell into that area, and it's really sad.
And it's sad because when you think about, like, even me growing up in the inner cities, impoverished communities, I would see things like, you would see a friend selling another friend mom a nick bag of dope or a
Hmm.
dime bag of dope.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen it
and
too.
and you think to yourself, is it that bad? Like, is it that bad we can't get a job because after you are incarcerated, now you have a felony, or you have things, blemishes that deny you from full your full potential.
Hmm.
So like you said, it is a troubling thought when we think of all the adversities that we have to go through day to day, driving while Black, working while Black, walking while Black. Nobody would
Churchill.
never know what it is to walk one day in a Black person's shoes.
That's right. But they also don't know that we're kings and queens. So, whatever you do, all the dirt you throw on us, like we still shine no matter what. That's why they're doing so much to keep us oppressed. Because on an average, we are dope people. Period. We don't have to step on nobody to show that we dope. We just have to work extra hard. We don't want nothing from
And it
nobody else.
shouldn't
We
be
just want.
like that. When we look at our historians, those who paved the way during the civil rights activist movement, and just our ancestors, period, they were the ones carrying 8 barrels of water on their back. They already paved the way for us to be able to sit here and enjoy civil rights and liberties. We're asking for equality. That's all we want. All we want to be treated fairly. Fairly. We should not be going to jail for lifetime sentences for non-violent crimes.
Right. And they really
Non-violent
don't
means
care.
the person is not at a mental ill mental capacity. They're not killing. They're not
Mm,
raping. It's non-violent. So that means that they need some help at this time with the pandemic and everything going on. Everybody needs some type of help. They should be given free counseling, free mental. Everything should be accessible today.
mm. So I do know there is free counseling today. Like since the pandemic started, they started giving, setting up free counseling for people, and I'll do free counseling as well. So if anybody's watching, We can do a
That's
few
why I have you
sessions.
tonight. Yes. Tell us some information.
We can have a few sessions. We can talk about what's going on, and I can. In a life coach, I'm just the person that's helping lead the way. Like I'm holding the lantern, because it's dark out here for everybody. So if I've walked, in a direction and I see what it look like, and you don't, I can help you through it. Um, with a few sessions, and you believing in yourself and you doing the work for you, you can get there. Because I myself had to pull myself up, from being down. and, and
Yeah,
and you know how
we
far
all,
down
and
we get.
I'm so inspired of Eric, of you as my sister. We haven't formally met, but we all are one branch. We just different limbs. We all come from the same tree, but we all got different pieces that makes us all together whole. And I'm so happy that you're inspiring and you're making a difference in the community, giving those help that don't know how to go get help. And if you can also include your information, how they can contact you on Instagram, any social media, your email. So some people might get forward and get some information.
Absolutely. I have a Chrysalis Complete Coaching on Facebook, and Chrysalis underscore complete underscore coaching. Um, that's my IG. So look me up, hit me up, and let's talk.
I know that's right. We all got to talk to each other. We all here for a purpose.
Right.
You
We are
must
all
fulfill your
imperfect.
purpose. You can't get, like me and Erica was talking behind the scenes, you can't get caught up in these distractions, the selling the drugs amongst our people, the doing the drugs. Start picking up a hobby, start picking up a book. See how far we came as a race. That should be your motivation. If we can come from times where we wasn't even access to books, anything. We were forbidden. If we can get up and do these things that our ancestors couldn't, let's let that be our motivation.
Right.
We have more statistics from the hamiltonproject.org. 2007, it was said that one a black person between the ages of 18 to 25 or 25 and up without a high school diploma was more likely to be incarcerated than a non-white Hispanic of the same age and educational level for nonviolent crime for a nonviolent crime. So we have an issue here. All our black men are being sentenced to prison at a harsher rate.
At a harsher rate and an early rate. So when they do get out, they don't know what to do. They don't know how to live. So they, get back into the streets, or it's real difficult for them to bounce back. And again, it's sad, but it's the system, and we need to know, as a people, it is the system, and the only way that we're gonna beat it is to work together. And it's everybody for whatever level that we need to have them work on. Like I'm a life coach. You do what you do. You sell. I see you sell clothes, and you have your business, and
Yes, and yeah, and the black code where we connect, because I've read a research. I was researching. It said the number one contributing downfall of the black race is that we not connecting. We're not
that's
connecting.
it.
We got the power. We got the power in Atlanta. We got the power in North Carolina. We got the power in New York. But we got to connect, and we got to utilize everybody talent, your talent, my talent, somebody else talent, and we got to move like a driven force.
Right, from the bottom to the top, because it's people at the bottom. Everybody got a job. You know what I mean? From the bottom to the top, we just got to work together.
Yeah. No more fighting, no more division, no more criminalizing ourselves.
Right.
This is the year of the innovative mind. You can think of anything. If you know You're a seller, you a marketer, you good at selling. Find something that's in demand. Find something in demand, in a positive light.
Hmm.
Those that are heavy hitters, that are can influence, that have the money, start creating some trades. Let's start
Right.
creating some trades. We love basketball. Let's start getting back, developing and implementing our own divisions. We got
Right.
the
Right.
intelligence. We got the
Right.
intelligence.
Yes, there's so many people, so many intelligent black people, so many intelligent. I mean, it blows my mind how intelligent we are, how a lot of things that were created in the United States were created by people of color. So, and I know it's the mentality that's been, shoved in our brains for 400, 500 years that's kind of got us stuck and in this messed up mental headspace. But if last year didn't show us, okay, sit down, be still, look around, and see what's really going on, and see what you really need to do for your people, because the United States or wherever we live is not going to do for us. So we need to come together and do for ourselves. But somehow it seems to be a little hard. But this year I'm seeing it's more and more of us coming together. I'm like we met, you know what I'm saying? Like, we met online, and I met some other people online that's on the same thing. And I'm like, yes, let's talk
Yes,
about
me
it.
too. I'm like, let's get it, cause we have the number one buying power. They love our culture. They love our style. They love our hairstyles.
Yeah.
It
Music.
start. We need to get that back. That's ours. You gotta ask us permission. Since we gotta ask you permission to do this and that, even to breathe, we have to ask you permission.
Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy.
It's the black code. It's standards. It's a way of life.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we got to tap into the old, and we can revise it, but it's always good to tap into that, things that have been working for 40
Right.
and 50 years.
Right. And we have to revise it for this time. Times change, things change. So we have to revise it. We definitely do. And I
They
do see
need
a lot of
for
entertainers now, they are starting to, well, I don't know if they probably were before, but just not, saying it out loud. And that's fine too. But as long as they give back to the community, it's a lot of black entertainers. And what I do want from them is them to put out more positive. I know the money, I know that executives want them to do certain things, but and that's again selling out. I know they want them to do certain things. Do what you got to do to get your dollar, to get, to get us to the next step, and dump that. Like, because it's driven to continue the same narrative that we've been living. The songs, the dances, the FUB and the chicks singing, do this, that, and the other. It's entertaining, but that we don't need that. We don't need that.
and what we see is a generation. I was reading, it said on hamiltonproject.org, it's a generation. We pass down dysfunctional generational traits, like you said. Don't sell out for $1.
Yeah. And I've always thought, I'm like, why, like Kendrick Lamar, he's a great artist, but he ain't at the forefront. Why are all these little, like Molly Perkins said, why are you singing? Why are you singing about that? Why are we singing about that? Why are we glorifying drugs in our community? It's not cool. It's not cool at all.
Yeah, the lean taking, putting songs about how you Percocets.
Yeah.
That's not influential. We need to be like, Erica said. That's why I do like Kendrick Lamar, because he puts out a positive image, through words, and
Mm,
he always shed light on our community, and also emphasize on how we can motivate one another to get better, and go higher.
yeah. Because some might say it's just entertainment. No, it's, well, anything you watch, anything you put in your brain is is teaching you something. So I
Erica,
get
me and
under
you the
entertainment
same.
to an extent,
We got
but
the same generation. We in the same generation group. So we had entertainers that influenced us.
mhm.
Brandy, um,
Queen Latifah,
Monica.
yeah,
We had songs that were filled with love, motivation. They wasn't telling us to go sniff no crack, take no lean.
hmm, yeah,
We need more influential people that spreading more positive images, like myself and Erica.
yes,
Erica's a
we do.
life coach. She's accessible. So many people, times we have people that have the blue check, but they not humbling themselves down to those that are being affected that don't have a blue check.
Right, right. But I'm here. I don't have a blue check yet, but I'm here. I'm here.
I don't have a blue check neither, but it's not even about. It's about the impact that you make in somebody' life. You got 24 hours.
Absolutely.
And Erica, you being a lifetime coach, I was thinking how with the statistics that I just said,
Hmm.
it's 80% of us dominating. We gotta. It's some way we gotta start tapping in. Especially with people that have non-violent criminal records. We got to start trying to build some type of coalition that like you said, reinstate these individuals and get them back into the real world.
The right way. And like there's no program that the government or anybody else is going to set up for our people when they get out of jail. So it should be us to, come up with a program to help our people when they come out of jail. Since there's so many entrepreneurs now and so many black business owners, I think that's something that us as a unit can move into. Like, I know it's good. Let's make our money, but we got to bring our people with us. We have to.
And like you said, Erica, it's up to us. Just like the Panthers was founded, they were getting tired. They were getting tired of being tired. So what they say, if they don't open up a door, we going to create our own.
Exactly.
And that's why we
Exactly.
were able to get the WIC program,
Hmm.
a supplement program that ensures healthy meals for a young children up to the age of infant to 10 or 12. We don't have influencers. We have everybody. I got mine. They throwing the money in the air.
Yeah.
They taking
Yeah.
lean.
Yeah. So we got a lot of work to do. I do see work being done, and I appreciate everybody whose eyes are open now and whose eyes have always been open and who've always been pushing us getting better, us doing for us. I'm proud of us. I am proud of us. We still got work to do, but I'm proud of us. I see a lot more of us on this side than I did before.
Me too, Erica. And this makes me hopeful that our ancestors' hard work and efforts didn't go in vain. What life would be like if all your hard work and efforts were unserved. We're supposed to make every generation better than the next.
Right? Right.
That's the common goal. If now today, no, we don't see a lot of crack addicts. We don't see, there are still some heroin users, but it's the older generation that's still battling. We have a lot of young people opiums and things like that and lean. And we
Yeah. Yeah.
gotta we gotta tap in and we gotta grab our sisters and our brothers' hands and pull them forward.
Hmm.
create avenues for them so that they won't get trapped back into the system.
Exactly. Exactly. We don't get the proper we don't get the proper counseling. We don't. I mean, we've been struggling all our lives. We don't. A lot of us don't even know. Like, nah, I ain't counseling, ain't nothing. You know what's that going? I'm going to talk to somebody. You have to get it out. You have to get it out. If you don't get it out, it's all in you, and it's poisoning you.
It is poisoning because in the since the pandemic era, Erica had two brothers in Christ that committed suicide. I'm not going to disclose some names because in the church, we have some political things where people want to say is one thing and it's another. But when you read between certain lines and you put
Mm,
things together, it is what it is. But
mm.
um, and it was due to the lack of proper mental health.
Wow. They don't want to ask for help. I know a lot of men don't want to ask for help.
And that's
I
why they get caught back up in the system.
yeah. Yeah, I had a young man when I was still in Indianapolis. We worked together. So he was sat next to me, and to this day, like, we still good friends. He's like, I don't know who, I don't know if it was God, I don't know how or why I was sat next to you, but you I feel like you saved my life. So they just need somebody to talk to, somebody to understand them. You know what I'm saying? And I I've been through a lot. I'm only 40, but you hear me, only, I ain't that old.
You look good, girl. We
Thank you.
aging like fine wine. I'll be
Like, fine
36,
man.
so you're not.
But I've been through some things in life, and and I had to get through most of it myself. I didn't have counseling, but I've always been that person to counsel others. So I I was able to kind of pull myself out of it. And I did also, when I was going through all the things that I was going through, I listened to life coaches on Facebook, like Trent Shelton. He got me through it. He got me through it. So I know that whatever I do, whatever I say to motivate, which is all I'm trying to do. I just want everybody to know we can get through it. Like, life is a roller coaster. It's never gonna be all good. But you just need somebody to listen to, or open your mind to, you know, it ain't over. Like, you can make it. So I got over it, and he got over it, and he's doing good, and I'm so proud of him. I'm so happy for him, and I'm glad
I
I can
think
help. I don't need no money for it. When I'm just doing what I, it's a gift. It's a
they
gift.
said when you do what you love, that's priceless. You can't put
It
a price on what you love,
it is. It is.
and that's just such a beautiful testimony to be able to be selfless and pick someone up, meet them halfway, and pick them up.
Mhm. I got myself in trouble with that, with a relationship. So so everybody be careful with that. Don't reach down too far and they pull you. But do what you can for the next man or woman that is struggling with something. You know.
And I thank you so much, Erica, for coming out tonight. Everyone, you can rewind, fast forward to get her information. She's on Facebook, Instagram. She's a lifetime coach that's been has a life experience, has mentored people in her communities, has serviced the underserved. Congratulations to you, and
Thank you,
I
love.
also pray that God continue to give you strength to continue to be a blessing to someone else.
Thank you so much. So much. I
And
appreciate that,
we'd
love.
like to tell everyone I know it's Mother's Day weekend. I would like to tell everyone, anybody that's a mother, you have a mother, a auntie, a grandma that took care of you. A happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Have a
Yes.
blessed one. Have a safe one. And we thank everyone for coming out tonight. We discussed how we do not offer or sell drugs to one another. If we stop that, we will eradicate poverty. We'll eradicate the high criminal rate amongst black and brown minorities. We will uprise our culture. We will also continue to lead other generations, give other generations a platform that they could continue to follow in order to progress. The time is now. The
It's now.
time is now. We cannot continue to pass this down, Erica. Tell them the time is now.
The time is now. The time is now. We sat back and we waited and we waited. The time is now. There's no more waiting. What we waiting on? Next year to go through the same thing? Next week to go through the same thing? Don't wait till tomorrow. Start today. If you know somebody that's going through something, reach out to them, check on them. I made a mistake of minding my business and losing a family member. I ain't minding my business no more. I'm in your business.
I
If you don't
know
want to
that's
talk about it,
right.
but I will definitely come. Reach out. I reach out to my people, and if you don't want to talk, I don't push it, but I reach out. And 9 times out of 10, they talk, and that's good. They needed to get it out. So
Yes,
thank you, everybody.
every day we battling something, Erica. Like you said, I'm a mind your business, and it's good business. I'm
Right,
not. It's not talking about you.
right,
It's not treating you, judging you unfairly. It's about meeting you where you at, so I can up
exactly.
and pick you up.
Yeah, yeah. And I do a lot of behind the scenes. I slide in people's stuff, and people I know, and
Well,
they run
Erica,
it.
we
They run
gonna.
it right
This
down
not
to me.
the
And
end.
you
This
say
not
what?
the end. We're gonna continue to connect because I feel like me and you can be a great contribution to the communities that we serve.
I agree. I agree. I agree. I'm happy to be on, and I look forward to being on with you again.
Yes, because we are the next generation of freedom fighters.
Yeah, because I can't sleep, I can't drink, I can't do nothing without thinking about our people and where we headed next and what I can do to to change the direction.
And we thank God for souls like you because we have so many people like we was talking on the last episode that they have a normalized being treated unfairly. Like, oh, okay, this is what's happening. We getting killed. We getting shot.
Yeah,
Okay,
no, it's not. That's not okay. That ain't cool. That rips apart I think each African American person's heart every time. It rips apart mine every time. Every time. So we gotta do something about it because it's not gonna stop. Marvin Gaye, what's going on? Why is that song still as relevant today as it was then?
and that's one of the songs that I listen to on a day to day, as well as Michael Jackson. They don't really care about us.
Hmm. So we've been singing about this for a long time. Let's do something about it, y'all. I'm down.
Exactly. Let's do something about it. Let's start getting connected like me and Erica has done and other special guests that has been on this platform. Let's start building conversations. Let's start talking.
Yes.
Let's start talking. Let's start asking what's affecting your community. What can improve? What can we do? Can we start building other nonprofit organizations, building up something for the young children to do, building up for those that keep getting incarcerated, but can rap, can draw,
Can
can be
do
the
something
next
right.
big people
We are
got
so
talent
talented.
in jail.
Our people are so talented. So talented. They just need us to believe in them. All of us to believe in them and support them.
Because everything that you see in the celebrities is not all glitter and gold. They suffering too.
They
Just like
absolutely
Jay-Z, I always say that No matter how much money you got, you always gonna be a nigga.
Yeah. Real talk. Real talk. And money is never really my motivation. Like, cause I'm rich in the heart. I'm my soul is rich. So money, I like it. Who don't like it? But I'm rich in the soul, and I'm trying to enrich more of our souls so we
Like
can
you
do
said,
better.
we came from. I stated that in the beginning of my podcast, my first introduction. I said we are all royalty. We come from villages. We were crowned. We
Hmm.
were crowned, and they took our crown off when they kidnapped us and brought us to foreign land.
Yeah, and it's still foreign to us. That's why it's not comfortable.
That
But we gonna
we
we
the
gonna get
only
there.
generation that can tap in and go back home.
Home, where our
We gotta
language,
start.
where our language, where our culture, our deep deep culture, where we got
These
work
are
to do.
all, yeah, these are all contributing factors to let you know how we were manipulated and stripped, and this is the aftermath.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
so in that teaching, we know we do not sell or offer our communities drugs. It's a different way we can do that. Let's not giving them what they know us to do or know to be like. Let's start turning the narrative around. Let's start being influencers.
Yes. And I'm seeing it happen. I'm seeing it happen. And I appreciate everybody out there who's doing it, who's part of the movement to uplift our people and influence our people to do better, be better.
Be better. And we're gonna leave on that note. We catch us next Saturday, the same time, the same place, and we'll be discussing how we do combine our dollars and buy collectively as a group. With that being said, I know Erica. I talked to Lynn Leezy last weekend, and Nicole, which her son was a victim of police brutality. Free Tyler Rambo again. I have a petition on here. Please sign it. But we got to start connecting and collectively putting our money in different stocks, different shares, different businesses. We got to start buying properties so we can offer our youth a different a direction.
Hmm. We
And
got
we'll
work.
see you the same time next week. And thank you so much, Erica. I appreciate you for taking the time and sharing your testimonies and continuing to be a light.
Thank you. Thank you so much again for inviting me. And I appreciate you sharing your light and starting this podcast. So hopefully we can discuss again.
Yes. All right, everyone. Have a great evening. See you next week.
Have a great evening, everyone. Bye.
Bye.